Okay, in this video today I want to look at what I think is one of my favourite amps in the world. I've not played one in real life, but on each of the modelers that I've played, I've really enjoyed the Matchless DC30. These videos are brought to you by G66 UK, where at the moment they've got FM9s and XFX3s in stock if you're interested in grabbing one of those. They have a UK based service centre and you don't have to pay any import charges, so really good news for you folks. Anyway, so onto this thing. So basically in 1989, two things happened. I was born, which is awful, and then also Rick Perotta and Phil Sampson started the company Matchless. Now, before Matchless was a thing, Dumble and Trainwreck were kind of boutique companies, and Mesa Boogie that were kind of around. I think Mesa Boogie by that point would have been quite a big company, but I think still then within the mail order phase. Anyway, Matchless came around. I can remember seeing these as a kid with their glowing kind of Matchless logo, and they were, you know, the first boutique amps that I'd have seen, and still are probably the only boutique amps that I've seen much about in the UK. So the DC30 was designed in principle to be like a roadworthy, more reliable Vox AC30. They made a few kind of little differences. I think adding the master volume for one thing, but it's a 2-channel amp. So what I've done here is I set it up within a template. We've got a compressor, just a dynamic comp, and then I've got channel 1, so the Matchbox D30, and channel 2, which involves the EF86 tube, the Matchbox D30 EF86 here. They've both got exactly the same cab, so if you go into your picker, you've actually got quite a few choices around the Matchless. I've gone for the Neumann, I'm guessing 67, because it's quite a nice round sound. and there are other options, and there's 2 matchless cabs actually if you want to check those out. It looks like this one might have left and right because the matchless cabs are actually mismatched, but experiment with that yourself. Okay, so then go into the multiplexer, and then that changes what row is involved. So row 3 is on scene 1, and then I'm amp switching to row 4 here. Row 4 here on channel B goes to row 4, and the solo equally stays on row 4. So row 4 is my dirt, and row 3 is my clean. Then we got a delay and reverb to just kind of, you know, show what this thing might sound like in context. Now, the Matchless amp DC30 has been used by a few people. Brent Mason, I believe, is one of the folks, and Matt Bellamy. So, you know, 2 very different guitarists. If you've got other favourite DC30 players, I know in the UK I used to see Ben Jones, session guitarist, used to play one. But anyway, so here's what it sounds like. Now, although you've got, you know, your normal gain, bass, treble, you've also got this high cut. I don't tend to like the effect that this has. It kind of just... just takes the edge off too much, I think. So for these chimier tones, I'd just run that all the way down. I guess if you were running the gain super hot, that's when you might want to start, you know, invoking the old high cut. Okay, that's valid. So let me just, if we had the gain a bit higher, push the treble a bit, and then have the high cut, you get a bit of that bitiness. I want that to be scene 4. So this would be like bitey channel 1, right? So that would be channel 1, and then scene 4, the bitey channel 2, get that high cut involved, bust the treble up a bit. Enhance there is just to give it a boost for the solo. Okay, right, so let's just save that. And then our kind of other channel is a little bit different. So it's got, we don't have the bass and treble. We do have what was called on the original amp a varitone, which was actually a 6 position kind of knob, and in here, as we turn it up, we get more bass. And this channel is a bit rounder sounding, maybe. See, that's not changing. Much other than the low end. So if you want more low end, run that tone nice and high. if you want it to be a bit more cutting, a bit more you know, clear, then that tone at 0 is kind of a nice spot as well. So that's kind of that. And then for my solo channel, I thought let's just add in the blues overdrive, relatively moderate settings, so 6.25, tone at 6, level at 6.3, turn on the enhance block, and we stay with that setting. It's got a lovely kind of spittiness to it. I believe Tim Henson of the band Polyphia, one of these main tones for years was just the stock Matchless preset, which I think is still available somewhere on an Axe 2. I believe that was basically what he used for most of his tones for a long time. So, you know, these Matchless things are not just these boutique sounds, they can sound pretty modern as well. You know, if you up your compression and all that sort of stuff that someone like Tim Henson might do, then you can get some pretty modern sounding tones. What I really like about it is you've got that bitiness, but it's still super responsive. And of course, and you can, you know, hear your guitar coming through all of that, even though you've got a really kind of nice fuzzy edge to things, and it sort of has that really nice amp-like. Yeah, you still get quite a lot of character from the guitar, and obviously and if we were to put on some drive with that, just beautiful stuff, I think. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. I'll drop this into my Fractal Google Drive. If you want access to that, just use the Gumroad link in the folders. But, you know, relatively straightforward preset, but just sounds really good. It's got that kind of vintage edge to the tone. It's really, I think, a really special amp. So that's the Matchless DC30. If you've got settings that you think folks need to know about, feel free to drop those in the comments, and, you know, your favorite cabs to match with them. There's no need for it necessarily to be a Matchless cab. Personally, I really like the sound of EV type cabs with these, like the Rumble, for instance, might be a good choice too. But yeah, give that a try, and I'll catch you in another video soon. Thank you to G66 for bringing you these videos, and I'll catch you around.